Hello, Al. Thank you so much for joining me and joining the company of the PMI Rochester and the local chapter. We want to thank you for your years of service as president, past president of the local chapter from 2007 to 2014. And I understand in some of our pre-conversations, there might be a little give and take there on the years, and there's an interesting story behind that.
Yes, there is.
So what happened?
Well, in 2007, 2008 election, I figured that I'd run for vice president because I'll have 2 years to learn to be president. As it turned out, I had less than 3 months to learn.
It's a steep learning curve.
Yes, at the time, I think it was Russ Kudums was president. And I don't remember. I thought it was Russ, but be it as it may.
I think we had Heininger before you. I'm not entirely sure.
Probably. It could have been. Could have been Larry.
Okay.
I don't remember. It was one of them. All I remember is that we went to a Starbucks, and at the Starbucks, she, at the time, the president, was a little upset about something, I guess with her husband or whatever it was. And she decided that this was not going to work. So she resigned on the spot, at which then I became president. So under the bylaws, I would be serving under her term. Not my term, it's her term, because I walked in on it. So that's how I got to 5 years, because you can only run twice. In essence, I ran 3 times because I could.
Wow, so you found a workaround the bylaws.
The bylaws found a workaround about me. So, at the time, the chapter wasn't growing. And I was working for Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Okay.
I had gotten my PMP in 2005. As a matter of fact, I was one of the first to get it at Excellus.
Okay.
It was one of those things that if you had 6 months to get your PMP or you got fired. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So that was a little pressure.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. But I got it, and then I was going to chapter meetings, and I became interested in the chapter. I became interested in running for office. I figured vice president was a good spot, not too much to do. And I would become president. So I guess the next points are, what did you do?
Yeah, so you're drinking from a fire hose for that first year.
Really, I had to set up directors. I had to set up everything.
Okay. So that team structure wasn't there. That organizational structure was not there.
There was no paperwork. There was no offices. There was nothing.
Okay.
PMI was working out of the Rochester Industrial Society. Our boxes were held there. All of our paperwork was in the Rochester Industrial Management Society or something like that. So I had to go and dig that out and find it out. We had no offices. We had no nothing.
Okay.
So with that, and we were renting offices at the time on Grove Street. And I found a little office there that was available. And I opened up the PMI office on Grove Street in Pittsford. And we had a little office there. We had a conference room. It was really nice. Worked out well. But, and then we moved everything in there. We had a place to put things. We became a chapter.
So you had to not only find the physical location, you had to build out the physical location and the infrastructure, but you also had to build the organizational structure. You had to recruit.
I had to find the bylaws. We set up a thing called I set up the director of governance. There was no such thing as then.
Wow.
I mean, we had to set up um, everything. If you can imagine, I mean, in the background, I'll send you it. It gives you a little synopsis and all that stuff. You
Okay.
know, I can read some of it. You know, the PDDs, for instance, weren't well organized at all. They just
Okay.
kind of it just kind of happened.
So for those of who are new to the chapter and who are watching maybe this particular interview first and are not familiar with what a PDD is.
At a professional development day, that is where the chapter makes its money for the year.
Okay.
Chapter cannot live on your $35. And by the way, that was another thing of mine. So you can blame me from changing from $25 to $35 because I
It's
knew
a
we couldn't do it,
nominal annual fee. Nominal.
but we weren't going to make it
Right.
financially. We were in we were in trouble right from the word go.
Hmm.
So then we worked hard on getting what the truly a PDD and the real sense of it.
Okay.
Um, we were getting maybe I think in the first year we maybe got a couple hundred, and in the last year we got close to 400. And for our luncheon speaker, I had
You mean
the coach
400
of the
attendees? I'm so sorry
yeah,
to interrupt. Got it. Okay.
and I managed to work out that the luncheon speaker was Jim Boeheim from Syracuse University, coach.
Oh, okay. Okay. Again, I'm not from this area, so I'm sure a lot of other people are going to go,
You're not a
woohoo!
Syracuse. You're not a.
I am not.
Oh
That's fantastic.
well,
How'd you swing that one?
I swung it through Excellus. Excellus had hired him to come in and do some management thing, and I said, Jim, you can't possibly be busy during lunch. So
Okay.
I got him to come in for lunch. He only charges $25,000 a day, so it's nice to have to only pay a thousand to get him there,
Yes. 1 hour in the door and out the door.
basically. But yeah, we had PDDs is what the biggest thing is.
Mhm.
Um, our membership at that time during that time increased to 630 people.
Okay.
We
What
went
were
from
some of the tactics that you put in place to increase that membership?
vice president of marketing, a good solid directors. I got corporations involved, especially Excellus, where I was working. So I got them really involved into it, and I made sure that every Excellus employee who got a PMP joined PMI.
Nice.
Um, so and they in turn talked it up. So we got a lot of people talking it up. I went to the universities. I also set up a thing called PM for Kids. Yeah, I worked with a woman called Edith Drury Brown, Dr. Brown, and she set up a program to teach project management to kids from first grade to high school. I have the course here.
That's fantastic.
So I taught that for a while, and I went down to Charlotte High School in the city, and I got a number of educators involved. I taught kids in high school what project management was about and
Okay.
how they could put it in your everyday life. That everything in life is a project.
Yeah.
So I should send you the stuff on it. You'll probably enjoy it because you got kids.
I would love it. My kids might not like it, but I would love it.
They'll like it. It's a fun thing. It's a
That's
real fun.
great. That is great. So
So
is that program still running?
no, I don't think so. There was no pretty much after I left. Edith left to She went to Washington and working with some administrator or something in Washington D.C. And
Okay.
then I left. Um, I don't know. It kind of waned out. I also work with the Ibero-American League. You know, Spanish. It's the Ibero-American League is the Spanish political arm here in the city. So I worked with the Ibero-American League to involved them in project management, and I got them to speak at a number of our chapter meetings.
Mm-hmm.
So what you could see is I was outreaching,
Yes. Yes.
and I did a lot. I got the chapter meetings to be more of an outreach meetings,
Okay.
and they were educational. Of course, they were educational, but we all live in our own little separate lives. And what I saw was that if this chapter was to grow, we had to go beyond our separate little lives, and we had to go beyond Excellus and
Mm-hmm.
Xerox at the time and
Mm-hmm.
Kodak, and because I knew that they were failing badly at that time. They were just starting to go downhill.
Yeah.
So I need to know how we're going to get more people into this chapter and keep it alive. So I got up to 630 members from about less than 200. Um, Member certifications grew to 75% at that
Okay.
time.
Okay.
It was only 69% in 2007. Um, we increased our revenues huge. Matter of fact, the PDDs became so successful that we could run the chapter on just the PDD profits and never,
Fantastic.
ever. That was the rule. It was one rule I made: never, ever touch the principal, which the principal is the dues,
Right.
because they had, and there was no money.
Right.
Um, that was an interesting topic. And that one year, that first PDD, I thought I was going to have to put my house up for, for to back up the monies I was spending, because we were
Wow.
spending what, $30,000, $40,000.
Yeah. To put that
We didn't
event
have
together.
30, 40,000.
Hey,